Hello and welcome to Skyrim board game playthrough. Now, this video will be consisting of three sections. This first section is a small introduction to the game. The second section is where I'm going over the rules, because the rules are all over the place and I think it's easier to explain the rules before we play the game, so you can get a little better understanding of the game. The game is made by Modifius Entertainment and it was published in 2022, so it's not that new, but it has been some time. Now, the game is either solo or you can play it up to 4 players cooperatively or even somewhat against each other. Now, as you watch this, you can see some of the components we are going to be using while we play the game. We have the die mechanic, which is obviously related to combat, and also skill check. We have skills, we have resources and components. We're gonna get XP. We can explore the town, we can explore wilderness. We have the market deck, equipment deck, all sorts of kind of fun stuff. I'm going to be through the campaign of the game. The campaign consists of 2 campaigns, and it takes time before Skyrim, the video game itself, roughly 25 years before. And it had both campaigns, campaign 1 and campaign 2, has 3 chapters, and we're going to be going through chapter 1 in this first playthrough. And for this playthrough I was thinking going with the Charecte character. Now, if you have played Skyrim, you know that Charecte is a sneaky character, and that's why I'm thinking using of this one. He starts with the claws, and when we learn sneak skill, we're gonna get 1 extra die with sneaking and all sorts of cool stuff. So I think naming this character Bob the Adventurer, because I think it's funny. Haha. Right.
Who are you?
This part is a tutorial of the game mechanics. If you don't want to watch it, you can just skip a few minutes ahead and begin the video where I start the campaign itself. But this part I try to cover the game mechanics and how the game works overall, because like I said, it is easier to understand the game mechanics first before playing it. So first things first, we have our character. In this case we have a Charecte, and we also have our character card. They are double-sided with different pictures, but the skills are the same for this character. Depending on what character you might want to play, the skills themselves are different. We have game turn. So the game consists of game turns, and you know the game turn has ended when the player token, moves to another player. In this case, because I'm playing solo, I'm just going to be turning it over like this, so I know it's a new game turn. So in this game we have skills, just like in Skyrim video game. We have sneak, pickpocket, and one-handed, all of those good skills, and we can even make them legendary later if we want to. So we have a sneak, and the game uses die mechanic. You roll 3 d6s before doing anything. And the sneak one gives us an additional die to roll with, so giving us 4. Next up we have pickpocketing skill. We gain 2 coins in every human encounter or town exploration or wilderness exploration. More on that a little bit later. Then we can do an action called the rest, where we gain back 2 stamina and 2 magicka in order to attack the opponent. That's the character, and it goes on the left side of the board. The moving in the game happens on like squares, and our character can move up to 4 spaces. So let's say I'm in a ruin and I want to go to this mine here, then I would be moving 1, 2, 3, and if I wanted to go 1 more space, let's say this wilderness space here, I could move 4th space. But up to 4 moving we can perform if we want to, and wherever we stop, for example this cave here, if we want, we can declare that we are going to be exploring it, or we might not want to explore it. It all depends on the players. However they want to play, they can do that. Also during the game we can buy a horse to move 1 extra space if we want to. Next is our character board. This is where we gain our equipment, status effects. If we have potion, we're gonna put them here. We can have up to 2 potions and 2 accessories. We can have the helmet, the torso, left and right hand. This middle icon means that it's a 2-handed weapon or such. Then we have our boots as well. The left side consists of experience. This is where you collect your experience points. All the tokens are also double-sided. This one has 3. This is a plant, also has 3 on the back of it. All the components are double-sided, so no need to worry running out. This is where we collect our money. When we get it, the coins as well are double-sided. This is where we get our resources, for example if we collect ore and a plant, this is where we would put them. This is our XP and level tablet. Let's say we get a 1 level, we need 7 experience points to get 1 level, and when we gain a level we can choose any skill we want. It's not a class specific. If we want, we can take 2-handed for our sneaky gadget, and we can put it here like so. Now we have 1 additional die in the skill 2-handed. Next is our basic health, stamina, magicka, and this is a final blow token. When character gets hit, doesn't matter will he take 3000 HP or 300 damage or however, this will stop the damage at that point. So let's say I will be taking a hit, I would place my health marker above it, knowing that the next hit would be killing me regardless, or if I can avoid it, all the better. We can use potion during the combat by spending 2 leaves to heal 1. Maximum use 1 per combat round, meaning combat round is you attack, then enemy attack, then when it's back to you, then it's 1 combat round done. These white cubes are level limiters, so currently we are at level 0, and once we gain a level, let's say we get 7 XP and we chose distraction magic, we can now move that limiter 1 point to the right. For example, I want more stamina, I will be moving limiter 1 side to the right and placing the stamina 1 before it, like so. These little cubes here indicate that we can push our die roll. So let's say we want 2 circles, or we didn't get them. So we can spend up to 2 resources of our own. So for example, we can use stamina to roll one of these die again up to 2 times. When we level up, we can push another extra die in order for our more favorable outcome for ourselves. We also have our inventory. We have 4 item slots, 1, 2, 3 and 4. These 2 places indicate where our status is gonna be. So for example, if we're getting a horse, or if we have some sort of negative status affecting us, this is where they would be placed, and there's no limit how much there can be. And on the right side we have the quests. Here we would be placing our quests. We can have up to 2 different quests, plus the third one is our story quests. Right, with that out of the way, let's see how the combat works. So, combat. And how the combat works in Skyrim, the board game, is that, let's say you are exploring and you land on a cave. You would then look at the reference sheet and see what you would be encountering. In this case, that would be 2 animal enemies. And how it works, you first take an enemy card and you flip it. In this case, it would be a mud crab. It's a level 0 enemy, so are we. It has 2 red armor. Enemies can have red, yellow, or purple, I guess. Yeah. Or they can have mix of everything. Now, because we are wearing a light armor, we can sneak, and we have a defense of 1 yellow armor. So how the combat would go is, we would first start by sneaking, by taking 3 dice, and because we can get a sneak point for sneaking, we take an additional 1, so we have 4. And to successfully sneak, we need to get at least 1 circle symbol on one of the 4 dice. So no matter how many circles you get, you only need to get 1 in order to successfully do a sneak. So we would be rolling a die, and we would get 2 circles. We only need 1. So the sneak is successful. After that, we would be choosing our attack. If we would have 2 different weapons, we could decide whichever one we want, but in this case we only have our claws, which is a 2-handed weapon. So we would be spending either no stamina at all to do either red or yellow attack, or we would be spending 1 stamina, like so, and doing a red attack. Now, how the game works in red and yellow is that yellow can beat red, meaning if we do 2 yellow attacks, that would be subtracting from the red. They go straight through the red, would be 1 and 2, so the mud crab would be dead. But if we choose to do a red attack instead, which is worth of 2 points, then we would look at the defense of the crab. So he has 2 red armor, and our attack of red is 2, so 2 minus 2 is 0, so he would be blocking the attack. But the game specifies that you always do at least 1 point of damage if all the damage is blocked by the enemy. So he would take only 1 point of damage, leaving him with 1 HP. So in this case, we are successful at sneak. We have 2 circles. We only need 1, which is indicated here. And we would be choosing a more beneficial attack to us, which in this case would be a scratch. We do not need to roll a triangle because the sneak was successful. So we can do a yellow attack instead. We do not need to spend stamina as well, so the stamina stays. We choose to do a scratch attack. So 1, 2, and the mud crab is dead. For defeating a mud crab, we would be getting a 1 XP. Like so. And then we would be referencing the next enemy, which in this case would be a animal enemy as well. We would be taking the top one, and the same thing would be going again. This enemy has yellow armor instead, and it is a little more difficult to sneak. And after every encounter, if not otherwise specified, for example, if you spend 1 stamina to do a sneak attack, the enemy dies and you go to the next enemy, you would be recovering your stamina as well as magicka, but no health. Health only regenerates after you have completed both of these encounters in every dungeon. So the same thing, we encountered the next enemy. He has 4 of yellow defense, and as we know, yellow is defending against yellow, so we want to do a red attack instead. So the same thing, we need 3 circles to successfully perform a sneak. So we would be taking 3 plus 1 from the armor. The gear and armor will give you more dices. You also, if you pick a skill, you can get more. So in that sense, the game gives you a lot of leverage to make your own game easier for combat, for example. So we would be taking these 4 and see if we successfully sneak. Oh, look at that. We actually did sneak successfully. Well, good for us. So this gives again a free attack. We know that the enemy has yellow armor, so we want to do a red attack, which in this case is a tier. We do not need to roll circle again because we successfully sneaked. So we spend 1 stamina, like so, and do a 2 points of red damage, which goes straight through the yellow. So 1, 2, boom. Now, because the enemy is alive, now comes the enemy's turn. The enemy and our followers, whenever we get them, use the red die. There's 1 empty side on this die. Now comes the enemy turn and we roll the die. And it's a double sword. We consider the chart, which is trample, which does 2 yellow damage. And because we have an armor of 1 point of yellow, in this case, we would be blocking that 1 point of damage. However, we can either take the damage, or before we resolve the enemy attack, we can try and block or dodge or parry it, depending on whatever item you are using, either shield or sword or whatever. You almost always have an option to dodge. So in this case, we need a 1 triangle and spend 1 stamina to dodge the incoming attack. So that would look like this. We spend 1 stamina. We decide that we want to dodge this with 1 triangle. Because we do not have any additional skills, we take 3 die and hope for the triangle. And we got it. So now the bear attacked us and we blocked all the damage. We do not take any kind of damage. Now the bear has attacked. Now our turn begins. So again, he has 2 HP left. We decide that we want to do a tier, which is a red damage. And as we know, red goes through the yellow, yellow goes through the red. Also the red and yellow goes through violet. So both of them attack will go through violet. We decide we want to do a tier attack. We spend 1 stamina and we roll 3 die because we do not have any additional skill. And we get 3 circles. So no matter how many circles we get, we only need 1. So we do 2 points of damage. And the bear is dead. Because this was the final encounter of the dungeon, as indicated by the card, our health, stamina and magicka will be restored to their fullest before leaving the dungeon. We also get the rewards. We get 1 XP for eliminating the bear, and because we are playing solo, I can choose either basic treasure or 1 plant. So I'm gonna choose basic treasure, which is here. In this case, that would be a apprentice robes. You can enchant the item up to 3 times, and it gives defense of 1 violet, and you can sell it for 5 golds if we want. That would go into our backpack space, like so. And that is the basic role of the combat. Very simple once you understand how it works. First time I played this was quite difficult to understand. And it's basically a cat and mouse game. Whoever strikes first the most damage wins. You can also use potions during your turn before you attack. So we would have if we had 2 leaves, which we only have 1 now, we could use those 2 leaves to heal for 1. And this says maximum use 1 per combat round. So the combat round is you attack, then the enemy attacks, and when your turn begins again, that is 1 combat round. So you use a potion, then the enemy attacks, then it's your turn again. And that is basic combat of Skyrim the board game. So the bear has been defeated. We get the rewards, we replenish our stamina, health, anything we need. What comes next? The game utilizes a threat mechanic, which is a timer for this game, and we put these threat tokens all over the map. We can put them on quests, we can put them on cities, we can put them on event cards, however we want to distribute them. It gives us choice to put them however we want, basically. So we have been in combat. So the game works is that before we even move, this is a kind of backwards combat, moving before combat and combat after moving, we need to draw an event card. So we draw an event card and we resolve this immediately. So we have a number 2 here, and we know that it's a world quest. All the world quests are on the left side of the map, and you can have up to 5 world quests at maximum. So the Thieves Guild in Riften is hoarding items in case they are needed. I wonder why. So this tells us that this is a world quest. We would be placing it on the left side of the map. It tells us we need to put 2 threat tokens, and like I said before, we can put them anywhere we want. For this case, we do not have any additional quests, so we would be putting them on a city. So any of these holds can take up to 3 threat tokens. So I would be putting 1 on there and 1 for this quest. This quest like this. So the threat tokens have been dealt. Next comes, what do we need to do? We have a quest in Riften, so we would be putting a quest token in the Riften, and we would be stop reading this. This comes into effect after we have reached the Riften. So there's a quest in Riften, the world quest would be put on the left side, and now comes the movement. So now we would be moving, for example, 1, 2, and 3, putting us on the ruins. And if we want it, we would be choosing either to encounter a enemy if we want, or we could just stay there. One player can have up to 2 personal quests plus his own story quest, or however many quests you have, up to 2 maximum. World quests can be completed by any player at any time, and should the quests reach their maximum threat, like so let's say I would be putting 2 threat tokens on this quest. This quest would immediately fail because it reached its maximum threat limit, so it would be we would fail a quest, and we would be reading the Great Riften and another stronghold and discard this card. So this symbol means that this card is going out of the game completely. We would not see it ever again throughout this playthrough, and we would resolve the card, we would move, we would decide if we want to engage in combat. If not, that would be fine. Let's say we would be here and we would go into Falkreath instead after the resolving the event card. What can we do in Falkreath? Well, we have options. We can either go to the market, we can pay 1 gold to access any market that is available in that stronghold. So in this case, that would be a shadow market. We have 3 markets. We have shadow, we have the might, and we have the one of the magic. So we pay 1 gold to access the market.
Some may call this junk. Me, I call them treasures.
We would see what item it would be. In this case, that would be lockpicks. And we would be needing pay additional 5 gold in order to get this item. So gain extra die when facing a trap. That is a trap icon. Or we could, so to speak, explore the town. We would be pulling a exploration card and see what quest we would get. Shadow Instructor. Did you feel that? Of course you didn't. Here, have your septims back. Be more careful next time. Gain 1 resource. That would mean we would be getting 1 resource, any kind we would want, either ore or plant or soul gem. We can choose. Then shadow training, level up by buying shadow skill, turn in septims instead of XP. So if, say, we don't have any level, we would need to spend 7 gold to get a shadow skill specifically. This one gives us shadow skill specifically, so one of the green ones, like so. We would be able to buy any kind of this. If we would level up normally, we would be able to choose whichever skill we want. Then we have an option to take a quest 54. So let's go ahead and do just that. And it would look like this. We take a quest 54, Silent Charity Part 1, and it has a threat of 4. We would read out the text, we would get 5, and we would be placing our own quest marker, which in this case is red. We are playing as a red color, so that would go in a rift in a wilderness space, which is here. So this region here is a rift. And then we would stop the reading, we would walk to the quest. and we decide to resolve the quest. You can do one action on your turn, either encounter in the dungeon, or if there is a quest, you can choose to do the quest. In this case, it's on a wilderness space. We choose to do the quest, so we would be reading next this, and depending on the outcome, we would be either be successful or we could fail it. And in this case, it would be roll 3. So we would be taking 3 die. We do not have any additional sneak skill, so we need 2 circles in order to successfully complete this. And we got them. Had we not get 2, we could push with the gold. So let's say we would be getting 2 triangles and a circle. We could spend 1 coin from here, if we had any, to roll 1 die. But since we got the 2 circles, we are successful. We can read the success and take any of the options we want. And that is basically the flow of this game. You have choices. You can make one or two option, choose from one of the either. Then you resolve it, and you have a time mechanic with the thread. The game does not end even if you would fail your own personal quest. You just have different consequences for failing your main quest. The game will end if all of the cities, all of the strongholds here would be rioting, or we would completely fail every quest that we have had given us, with the main quest included. Even if you fail in combat, like if you die completely, you just reset your health, you escape from the dungeon, so to speak, or you respawn, and you would place a threat token for failing the encounter. So there are consequences for failing the combat as well, but you do not die, as in you permanently lose all of your stuff. That's the flow of the game, basically. Very easy to play once you understand everything that is going on here. So with that out of the way, let's move to the campaign itself. Our Skyrim adventure begins in the year 175 of the 4th era. The Great War rages across Tamriel. A group of young blade recruits go on their first mission, a patrol around the forest of Cyrodiil. A Thalmor ambush catches them off guard, and they barely escape alive. Upon returning to their camp, they find it desolated. The Thalmor have been here. Cyrodiil is not safe for them anymore. They escape to Skyrim, far from Thalmor clutches. In Skyrim, the rich men have conquered Markarth, and tension between them and the Nords are rising. Now, our adventure begins, as we, the hero, have been trying to be trapped while exploring the ruins. Why? We don't know, so let's find out. Narnice, a traveling explorer, hires me to protect her while exploring some ruins. The place is quiet, yet it makes me feel uneasy. Deep in the ruins, she pulls a lever, and a cage falls right next to me, failing to trap me. We both silently stare at each other. Her disappointment is palpable. It only takes me 1 strike to defeat her. A note falls from my attempted captor's pocket as she falls. Narnice, it's been too long since we last spoke, and now I come to you asking for assistance. I need you to keep some people secure in your ruins. Their names are on the back of this letter. I'll give you what you've always wanted if you do. Moiva Karnai. On the back of the letter, I find a list, names of blades, mine included. Now, what was the letter doing there? What's with the blades? Let's find out. Now, we are allowed to choose 2 pieces of equipment, and we need to make a choice. We can either recruit a mighty warrior to help us find the Moiva Karnai, or we could take option 2 to find someone wiser than us and help us find the Moiva Karnai, and we can choose up to 2 pieces of equipment. We have plenty of choice. We can choose dagger, bow, shield, heavy armor, light armor, whichever one we prefer, but I think since we are playing a Khajiit, which is a little bit of sneaky character, I would go with the light armor. That gives us protection of 2 yellow, and I think we should pick a sword as our first starting weapon. So we have chosen our 2 pieces of equipment, light armor and a one-handed sword. Now the next thing, the letter is telling us we should be placed in Whiterun, and we take card 170. So let's just do that. We're going to be placing ourselves in a Whiterun, and let's see what the card tells us to do next. Unwanted guests. Edvale, the summoner, is still normally a blade, even though he spends her time researching in the College of Winterhold. So we have a quest in Winterhold, so let's place a quest marker there. This is our main quest, so we're going to be using a red marks for our own personal quests. Winterhold is way up here. So next we want to do an event. This is a level, so level 0 is appropriate for us. Right, before we begin, we need to resolve an event card before we can even move, so let's just do that. We're going to be drawing an event card from here and resolving the effect. The Skyforge. This is a world quest. The Skyforge lies dormant. Still, you can forge some weapons with it. We also get a quest in a Whiterun. So let's place a quest marker in a Whiterun and take 2 threat token. We're going to be placing the world quest on the left side, and let's place 1 token on the quest already, so that's 1, and the other one, let's place it in Morthal. So the Morthal market is now inaccessible. Now we can move wherever we want, so how about we go and do some combat while going on our way to Winterhold. So we can move 4 spaces. Let's go and explore a wilderness space, for example, or a cave. I think cave would be a better. So we go 1, 2, 3, and we landed on a cave. So we're gonna be exploring the cave, and we meet 2 animals to fight. So the first animal is a mud crab. How lovely. Mud crab has 2 HP or 2 red armor against our sword. So first things we do is we're gonna try and sneak on the mud crab. We need to roll 1 circle with the 3 die. Let's see if we can do that. And we did it. We successfully sneak up on the mud crab. We're gonna be spending a resource of our stamina 1 point, and we're going to be attacking the mud crab with our swing, doing 1 yellow damage. The mud crab takes 1 damage. Now it's a mud crab turn. He rolls high, and it's an axe, which is corresponding, which he has. attack on an axe. He does 2 red damage to us. I think we can take it. We take 1 point of red damage, dealing 1 point of red to us. Now our turn continues. I think it's good if we do again a swing with the yellow. So we need 1 circle and spend 1 stamina to do that. So let's see how this goes. Ooh, we did not get it. We can push 1 time, spending 1 stamina and rolling a die to see if we can get it. We did not. We can spend another 1, and this is the final die we can spend for pushing 1 die. And we did indeed get it. We're gonna swing at the mud crab, and the mud crab falls. We get, as a reward, we get 1 XP. We need 6 more to level up our first skill. The next fight is a skeever, and it has 3 HP of yellow. Now, because we can do either yellow damage or red damage, I think it's better to do red damage against yellow. So let's see how this goes, and we're gonna be sneaking on skeever again by rolling a 1 circle out of 3. So let's see, can we sneak up on a skeever? Indeed we can, pushing a question mark along the way. So we successfully sneak up on the skeever, and we can do a free attack by spending 1 stamina and doing a slash attack of a red. So we're gonna be slashing at the skeever, 1, 2, and he has 1 HP left. Now it's skeever's turn to attack. Let's see how it goes. Ooh, a skull. Indeed, he does 1 point of red damage. I think we can take that as well, leaving us with 2 HP only. Our turn. So let's do another swing. We're gonna be spending 1 stamina and rolling a circle. And we got it. We do 1 point of damage to a skeever, granting us 1 more XP from the fight. As a reward, we can get a basic treasure from the ruins or a cave that we got, and the basic treasure is, there we go, reanimate corpse. We can reanimate corpse by drawing a card. Defeated enemy you encounter during this turn as a follower for the next game turn, or we can sell the spell for 5 coins. Well, let's put that spell in a backpack for now and see if we can maybe sell it or use it for later. For now, the combat is done, and we are going to be leaving the cave, taking a additional enemy, shuffling them a little bit for the next encounter. Now, as we level up, the weaker enemy is going to get removed from the game when we are encountering more difficult enemies to fight, so the dungeons level up with us. Now the combat is done, and we get our HP back, we get our stamina back, and we shall continue exploration. Now we draw the event card the first time. When you play solo, you draw event card every other turn. So this turn we won't be drawing an event card, so we can move immediately wherever we want. So how about we go and explore something? For example, we could go to Winterhold, or we could go to Windhelm and explore the town. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Let's go and explore the Windhelm. Maybe we can find a quest or something more interesting. So we go 1 and 2, and we are...
The townsfolk call me captain because I used to be a sailor.
Fresh fruit and vegetables for sale.
And we arrive, and at Windhelm Now we can explore the town. Let's see what we can get. Gisani, experimenter. Greetings, adventurer. I am an experimenter developing exciting new spells. May I try one of you? Sounds suspicious. We gain one resource of our choice. How about we take an ore in case we want to upgrade our equipment. Become a test subject. Roll 3 plus restoration. Well, we don't have a restoration skill, so we can be rolling just a plain 3 die and see if we are successful. We need to get 2 circles in order to success in this. We can push with soul gems, but we currently haven't got any. So let's see how this goes. And indeed we got 2 circles. That's all we need, granting us a 2 XP. That's good. So we already have 2, so we can just turn this over. Now we have 4 out of 7. So to get the first level we need the 7. Now we can either choose draw a quest or we can ignore this. So I say we draw a quest, and this means this card is going to be leaving the game for now. So quest number 10. Let's see what we get. A quest in Morthal. Sounds interesting. Let's put that here then. This is our second personal quest. So Morthal is way over here. Now we have explored the town. Time to leave. So how about we go and do the Winterhold main quest. So before we go there, we need to draw an event card and resolve it. Move 1 Daedra token towards nearest stronghold. If it reaches the stronghold, degrade it and remove the token. If there are no Daedra tokens on the board, place 1 on the wilderness space. So we have a Daedric invasion and we need to place 2 threat tokens. Luckily, we have a 2 quest on our hand and we can place 2 threat tokens on them. So we have 1 and the other one is here. Now we have distributed the threat tokens. Let's see if we can get to the quest that is in Winterhold. So now we can move 1 and 2. We have arrived at Winterhold. Let's see what happens when we arrive here.
Destroyed by a dragon.
You think that'll solve all your problems?
And who are we gonna find to help us find Moiva Karnai? Edvale, the summoner, is still normally a blade, even though she spends her time researching in the College of Winterhold. Now that we arrived at Winterhold, we can read the next section. She's agitated. Apparently one of her experiments went wrong, and now there's a spirit in her cellar that won't leave. She asks for your assistance, so we need to clear that spirit or get rid of it or do something about it. So let's see what we can do. 365. Enraged spirit. So we need to defeat it. Let's see how this goes. The spirit has 3 of yellow and 1 of purple. Let's see how we can defeat it with our tiny puny sword, and we can sneak up on the spirit, and we need to roll 2 circles in order to successfully sneak with our 3 die. We can take 1 extra die from our equipment card, indicated here by sneak, so giving us 4th one. Let's see how this goes. And indeed we did sneak upon the spirit. Now we can do a free attack, so it has 3 yellow and 1 purple, so we're gonna spend 1 stamina, and I would probably attack the purple one first, out of the way. So we slash with the sword at the purple, and the purple is gone. Now it's time for spirit to retaliate against us. It's a lightning bolt, and it misses because there are no lightning bolt on him. Our turn, we spend 1 stamina, and probably we should do a slash attack because it's more effective against yellow. So we need a 1 triangle with the 3 die. Let's see if we can get it. Oh, that's a diamond. We can push it by spending 1 stamina and rolling 1 die. Nope. 1 more push. Let's see if we can get it. I really want this spirit not to haunt me. And we get it. We do 2 damage to the spirit. 1 and 2. Now it's time for spirit to attack us. Let's see. 2 swords. He does 2 red damage to us. I say we can take it. So we take 2 points of health out of our own. And we have 1 more stamina left before we need to rest. And let's do a swing, a yellow against yellow, but you always do at least 1 point of damage. So we're gonna be doing a swing with a circle out of 3. Let's see if we can get rid of the spirit. Really? I mean, really? Well, we missed, so we depleted our stamina, and now it's spirit's time to attack us. And it's a fireball. Indeed it does. We're gonna be taking a 2 points of damage, and because we do not have stamina, we go on a critical state. So the next blow from the spirit is gonna kill us. I say we're gonna be drinking a health potion before we do that, spending 2 leaves. And we're gonna be using a rest action this turn. After drinking the potion, we can get back 2 stamina and a magicka points. So we're gonna be resting 1, 2, granting us a 2 points of stamina and 1 point of health. So now, because we spent our turn resting, now it's spirit's turn to attack. And an axe. And it misses, which is good for us. We're gonna be spending 1 stamina with our final attack, hopefully getting rid of this. We're gonna be doing a swing with a sword that is a yellow and with a circle, because circle is easier to get. And we did get it, luckily for us. So 1 point of damage to the spirit, and the spirit is gone. Let's see what we get from this. Success! Edvile the summoner is grateful. We get 3 soulstone and 3 experience. Now, because we have more than enough, we get level as well. So we turn this, and it gives us 7 points, which grants us level. Now, this is the result of our previous battle. We barely made it alive, just a little bit of stamina left, and we gained a level. When you gain a level, all the XP are gonna be nullified and you get a skill. So, how this works is you're gonna be restoring 1 all points of each medica, stamina and health, and you get a move limiter. So I say we take a stamina for 1 point because stamina is precious resource. So let's move the stamina there. And now we get to pick our skill. I say we would be picking out of all of the skills, the more useful one would be a one-handed, giving us 1 extra die when we learn that skill. So I would pick a one-handed skill for this. And now we read the rest of the card. Edvale, the summoner, uses a spell to trace Moivakarnai's note. Her eyes go white, and she slams her fist on the table. The Khajiit has peculiar allies. The Khajiit caravan outside Falkreath. She falls unconscious. Well, I'll talk to the Khajiit and try to get an information on Moivakarnai. Or we could ambush them. Should we ambush a caravan? Maybe we could reason with them. Yeah, let's reason with the caravan and see, maybe they have some precious information on the Moivakarnai. So 177 is our next quest. So we have resolved the event card, placing Daedra on the map, which is right here. We also took the card 177, giving us a quest in the Falkreath, Khajiit Diplomacy. So let's put a quest marker in the Falkreath, which is way here. And us being in Winterhold, we need to get to Falkreath. Because we done the previous quest, this quest marker will be removed for now. Now we have so many options. We have a quest here, we have a quest here. We could do a mortal quest, we could go to Solitude. We have so many options. We could go explore a town, craft an equipment, go do more quests. So looking at the quest in the Falkreath that we have next, it says we're going to be gambling. So I never done this quest before, and because we do not have coins yet, Khajiit do not have coin, so we need to get some. So remember that item that we got as a reward? Well, we can sell it in town for 5 gold pieces, and I think that is what I should do next. And because trading does not count as an action, we can access the market anytime we are in the cities, and after that we could go and do a quest. We also have the world quest in Whiterun, so let's go and see if we can get to Whiterun. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, not quite. So let's go to Windhelm and sell our gear. Maybe we could craft something, or maybe we could pick another quest on our way there. We'll see how this goes. So, or we could go even to Dawnstar, but yeah, let's go to Windhelm anyway. So 1 and 2, we have arrived at Windhelm, and first things we're gonna do, we're gonna be accessing the market and selling this for 5 gold, putting this back into the treasure pack and giving it a little shuffle. I like to mix the treasure pack every time I get a new one, so it's a little bit randomized. That will give us 5 gold. Hooray! We have 5 gold, we are rich.
Some may call this junk. Me, I call them treasures.
And for the next action, we could again explore the town and take our next quest, which would be just fine for us at this point. Let's see what we can meet, who we can meet, and what have they asked to do. Hesite Crow. Help! My husband is dying! Please, come quickly! We get a resource. Well, let's take a plant. Yeah, plant would be ideal for us. I wonder what she wants. Or what's wrong with her husband. Heals Hesite's husband. Roll 3, restoration, and we need 3 circles to get this. We can push with the leaf, we get 3 experience if we succeed. So let's see how this goes. Because we do not have restoration skill, we only get 3 die. So let's see if we can get 3 circles. We get 2. Okay, not bad. We have 1 leaf. We can push with 1 leaf, 1 die. We're gonna be spending it here. And let's hope if this will give us a circle that we need. It did not. We are failing the quest. Now, failing the quest in exploration cards does not mean that you completely fail the quest. You only fail the reward section, so we won't be getting any XP from this, but we can still choose the quest if we want. So we're going to be taking the quest. So we're going to be discarding this card and taking the card 68. Giving us a new quest. Justice Elixir, Part 1. I try my best, but Hesite's husband's condition does not improve. He has been poisoned. Only the sources in the College of Winterhold can help him now. Quest in Winterhold. Oh, how lovely. And it just happens that we are close to Winterhold, being in Windhelm, so we're going to be taking a quest marker and placing it in the Winterhold, putting us on our max. Our personal max quest is here, here, and in Winterhold, meaning if we take any more quests for our personal character or our own character, we would be failing one of these either way. So now we already resolved 1 event card, so this turn we are not going to be grabbing an event card. We are moving. So where do we go from here? Maybe another battle, or we could go to Whiterun. 4, not quite enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, still not enough. So how about we go and explore a mine? Let's see what we can find in the mine. So 1, 2, 3, and we have arrived at the mine. In the mine we can encounter a human enemies as well as animals. So let's see who is going to challenge us. So the first go comes the bandit or whoever. Oh, we encounter a trap. So how the trap works is that it has a health of 1, but if you lockpick it successfully with difficulty of being 2, you disarm the trap automatically. No need to fight it. So let's see how this goes. So because we do not have lock picking skill currently, we roll basic 3 die, and we need to get 2 circles out of these 3 to disarm the trap. Let's see if we can do that. We did not, and we cannot push lock picking, so I don't know how the trap attacks us, but it does. So the trap rolls and it deals 1 point of damage to us. And now it's our turn. Because lockpicking failed, we're gonna be striking the trap with a swing of our axe, doing 1 yellow damage. Although I don't know how the trap retaliates, but never mind that. And we get it, 1 circle. Just enough to defeat the trap. The trap is destroyed, giving us 1 gold coin, which is good. More gold is always nice. The next one is our animal enemy, and it's Mr. Mudcrab again. Hello, Mr. Krabs. Now, since we failed the lockpicking in the previous room, we can now sneak up on the enemy. And again, we cannot push the sneaking tries. So we have a gear with 1 extra die. Need to remember always give me an extra die if I have one. Rolling with 4, and we need 1 circle in order to successfully sneak up on the Mudcrab. And we get 2, which is more than enough. Actually, we get 3. That's good. So now we can sneak up on our dear Mr. Krabs and give him a swing of our sword, spending 1 stamina and dealing 1 damage. Pow! Now our crabby friend here gonna be attacking us with fireball, which is neither of these, so he misses his attack. And our turn begins. We're gonna be spending 1 stamina and decided that we want to do a swing with a 4 die. 4 because we have the one-handed skill as extra, giving us 1 additional die. So instead of 3, we're gonna be rolling 4. Let's see if we can defeat Mr. Krabs. And we did it. Mr. Krabs is gone. Bye bye, Crab. Giving. Bye bye, Crab. Giving us 1 HP, 1 experience, sorry. And because we defeated him in the dungeon, both of these, we get a additional reward as a basic treasure that we find in dungeon while exploring. And that is a steel greatsword. Damage of 3, or red with 2 circles. Damage of 4. And it's a fetching nice price of 5 coins. We're going to be putting that in our backpack. I don't think I'm going to be using a 2-handed weapon, at least for now, but we can always sell it and gain a few extra coins now because we have completed the dungeon. We get our stamina and health and magicka back. And now we can resume the exploration. So we were heading in the Whiterun. And we have arrived at Whiterun. Let's see what we can do in Whiterun. We have a quest. We have items that we can sell, or we could access the market, but maybe not yet because of the lack of coin. So I say let's do the quest that we have here that has already a 1 threat token. So we remove the threat token and see what we can do. The Skyforge lies dormant. Still, you can forge some weapons with it. So we are in a Whiterun, and we are going to be using the forge. So we roll 3. We need 3 circles. We can push with ore. Luckily, we have 1. And if we succeed, we can draw 1 advanced treasure, and we shuffle card 150 into the event deck. If we fail, we're going to be degrading Whiterun, and this card is going to be leaving the game forever. So let's see how that goes. We need 3 circles out of 3. Wow. Wow. Okay, yeah, I can take that. GG, easy first try. So we are successful. We can draw one advanced treasure and shuffle card 150 into the pack. Let's see what we can get. So we have here an advanced treasures. And I'm gonna be shuffling them a little. Let's see what we can get. These items are much better than the basic ones. This would be a ebony helmet. Wow, at this point, whopping 11 gold, and we can enchant it even. Gain maximum stamina, and we gain additional die for blocking if we had blocking, but unfortunately we don't. And this is a helmet, so we could get a maximum stamina of 2 if we equip it. But I'm gonna be putting it in a backpack for now. Reason being, it's an expensive item for 11 gold, so why not sell it? And because it does not give us any additional defense against red or yellow or purple, so why not? Let's put that in a backpack, and the event is resolved, or the quest, so this marker gets removed now, and we now have access to our next turn, and I think we're going to be selling immediately both of these. So we're going to be selling ebony helmet for 11 and steel greatsword for 5, giving us 16 golds in total, making it 16 more times the detail in this game better. So 16 gold. Good thing these are doubles. The card said with the top 4 cards of the event deck. So we have a card 150, and we're going to be taking first 4 event cards. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, and putting the event card here, making they are all the same way, and shuffling it a little bit like so, and putting it back on the event deck. So now there's a card 150 somewhere in the event deck, and it's something good for us, hopefully. We have access to market. So where should we go next? We have huge amount of quests. We have 4 quests. There's one general quest here. We have our own quest here. We have another quest here. We also have a quest in Winterhold. We have roaming Daedra roaming around here. So I think next thing that would be good is let's do some of these other quests as well. So how about we do one in Morthal? Let's see what we can do there. Can we make it? 1, 2, 3. Yes, we can. Actually, before we do that, we can spend 10 gold. Yeah, let's spend 10 gold to buy us a horse. Yes, the infamous mountain scaling horse of Skyrim. Horse gives us access to 1 move. So now instead of 4, we can move 5 spaces. So we're going to be going to Morthal. 1, 2, 3.
You're different, aren't you? Not like anyone else. Not in Morthal or Skyrim.
We have arrived at Morthal, and we're going to be doing a quest here as well. Let's see what we need to do. The Rising Dead, Part 1. Jishani meets me at her Cycled laboratory in Morthal. Skyrim is full of damned necromancers. We need to get rid of all of them. I'm developing magic that help fight their undead minions. I've raised a few corpses to test my spells on. Care to help me? Clear 4 undead. Sounds interesting. Well, let's see how this goes. So first things first, we need to clear 4 undead. And the first undead on our list is a vampire fledgling. Sneak of 3. And he has a whooping 4 HP. Let's see how this goes. So we're gonna be sneaking on him with our 4 die. And we need to get 3 circles. Now if we fail, he's gonna be attacking us with the skull icon. If anytime the sneak fails, the enemy does the skull attack. Let's see how this goes. So we unfortunately did not succeed to sneak up on him, so he's gonna be attacking us with the skull, dealing 1 red or purple damage. Now, when the enemy deals either one of these, it's gonna be the one that is more beneficial to the enemy, meaning because we have yellow defense, he's gonna be doing red. So he's gonna be attacking us with the red, dealing 1 red damage. And because it's a skull attack, this is something we cannot defend at this point. It's inevitable. The next attack we can evade, however. So the enemy has attacked us, bringing us to our turn. We're gonna be grabbing our die and deciding that we want to do a slash attack of the triangle, spending 1 stamina. And let's see if we can get the triangle here. Indeed we did. That was close one, so we deal 2 damage to him. 1, 2. And the enemy turn begins, attacking us with fireball. He misses. Interesting. Very well. Good for us. I'm gonna be spending 1 stamina dealing... Let's say we want to deal a slash attack with our triangle. So that's a diamond. We can push up to 2 times for now, so let's push with 1 stamina and taking 1 die. Let's see if we can get the triangle here. Nope. And the second one, come on, triangle. Oh, we got it. We did 2 more damage. Pow, pow. Yes, that's how vampire reacts to attack. We get 1 XP. Now, because we defeated a vampire that has multiple rewards, we can choose either of these. So let's take the basic treasure. And we can sell it later. Oh, look at that. Again, the steel sword. I just shoveled it. Well, anyway, on to the next one. This is the second one. Our stamina replenishes between fights, and this is a flamethrower trap. Needs a lockpicking of 2. Sounds easy enough. Yeah. So I thought on the previous fight as well. So 3 die. And let's see if we can lockpick this trap. We did it. We did lockpick the trap, so the trap gets defeated. We get the 3 coin automatically for us. So that's 1, 2, 3, putting us on actually 5. Just turn those over. Now we have 10 gold. The trap gets removed, and for our third enemy, we get a Draugr. How lovely. He has 3 points of health, and we need the circle, 2 circles to sneak up on him with our 4 die. Let's see if we can sneak up on the Draugr here. And we did it. We did successfully sneak up on him, so now we can do damage to him. We're gonna be spending 1 stamina. And let's do a swing attack because it does 1 yellow, so it's gonna go straight through him with 1 point of damage. We have sneak upon him. We have made a sneak attack, so now he retaliates against us with the fireball and misses. What a slow draugr. We're gonna be spending 1 stamina, and let's do a swing attack. Yeah, with the circles. It is the most easiest to do, so we got 1 circle there, putting him on 1 HP remaining. Well, draugr is not happy about that. Let's see what he does. And he swings at us and deals 2 points of yellow damage. Now, luckily for us, because we have yellow armor and it does exactly 2 points of damage, and our yellow armor has 2 yellow points of damage, we are gonna be blocking that automatically, meaning we take no damage, but we are gonna be losing 1 stamina instead. So every time you block attack completely, you lose 1 point of stamina instead. So it's not completely risk-free, but at least you're not be losing the health instead, which is more precious. So we lost stamina. Now we're gonna be attacking him again with the swing of our sword. Let's see how this goes. And we got it. We're gonna be swinging a sword. We're gonna be getting 1 XP and 1 iron ore, which is good for us, putting us on 3 XP and giving us 1 free ore. Bye bye, draugr. Stamina replenish. And again, the health does not replenish between fights in the same dungeon. So the last enemy would be a skeleton. 1 sneak, and he has both yellow and red on 1. So let's see how this gonna go for us. So let's sneak upon that skelly boy. Our 1 circle needed, and we did it. We sneak upon the skeleton, and we're gonna be doing 1 point of damage, which is gonna be spending 1 stamina, and let's remove the red one. So we sneak upon the skeleton. Skeleton woke up and is not happy about it, so he does nothing. The skeleton does nothing. Very well. Good for us. Let's put this poor skelly boy out of his misery with a swing attack. Yeah. Boom. And the skeleton turns to ashes, giving us 1 XP and 1 iron ore as a reward. 1 XP, putting us on 4, and 1 more iron ore, giving us 3 iron ore, which is actually good for us. Now all 4 enemies have been defeated. Now because we leveled up once, meaning all these enemies of level 0, 3 enemies, are gonna be discarded from the game completely. So the next time we are going into the dungeon with the draugrs or undead, we are gonna be facing tougher enemies. We're gonna be taking last enemy and the next enemy of the pack, shuffling them and putting them back into the pack. We have survived this weird experiment that the person wanted us to do. So we helped him. So let's see what we get. 2 experience and 1 soul gem. 2 more experience, giving us 5, 6, and 1 soul gem for our efforts. That is good. It worked! They are all dead! Again! My magic saved your life! Yeah, right, I was the one who fought them. Still, room for improvement, but well done! Well done me! Really? Draw card 11. Let's see what we get from this. Card 11. I received message from Jishani urging me to meet her at her laboratory. I've run out of soul gems. Strategy! I need more! Otherwise I'll never make my new undead destroying spells perfect. Can you help me? I know where I can find plenty of soul gems. Quest in Winterhold. Well, how lovely. So, he wants us to go to Winterhold. Again, there's a lot of people needing help with Winterhold lately. Well, we're going to be placing our red marker to Winterhold, which means we now have 2. Now, what shall we do next? We have completed the quest for helping the poor soul with his undead. We also have a new quest. Now, before we continue, I think it's good to take a break at this point. We'll see how this goes next time when we continue where we left off. Thank you for watching, and if you did enjoy this, please leave a like. If you didn't enjoy this, also leave a thumbs down. Leave a comment, how should I improve this gameplay if you liked it or didn't like it. But for now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.